Do I understand that you saw a creature in the lake that had texture something like the skin of this shark that's swimming past here?
Yes, very much similar, sir. Very smooth and shiny.
No scales?
No, very similar to the shark and very similar to a whale skin.
Have you seen sharks and whales up close?
Oh, yes, I have.
In an attempt to identify what he had seen, Ed met with Willard Bascom, director of the Southern California Coastal Waters Research Project. Beside the tanks at a nearby museum, Fletcher compared the monster he had seen with some of the aquarium's underwater creatures.
Oh, no, it swam this way.
Side to side?
Yeah. This creature we saw didn't have fins. When it was swimming, it would show mounds in the water, only because of the way it was swimming like a snake.
Ed learned that whales are capable of withstanding sudden and extreme changes of depths and pressures. But whales are saltwater mammals, not likely to be found in a mountain lake. Some believe Ogopogo to be a giant eel. Eels are known to grow to lengths of 20 feet, and they do inhabit freshwater lakes. One theory states that eunuch eels, with little or no sex drive, do not participate in the mating migration, but remain feeding on the bottom of lakes and grow to enormous size. Could Ogopogo be one of these? As their first attempt was inconclusive, our divers decide to try again. This time off Squally Point, where Indian legends tell of the cave-like home of the lake monster. As the divers descended, the water grew painfully cold. Amid the rocks, our divers found many cavernous openings, but no signs of Ogopogo living in any of them. Unable to capture the monster on film, our searchers had one more contact to make. The authoress of Beneath the Depths, Arlene Gall, who owns the only known motion picture footage reputed to be of Ogopogo.
The most conclusive evidence that I personally feel that we have on the Ogopogo is the fold-in film. The fold-in film actually shows a large animate object surfacing, submerging, and propelling itself through the waters at a very high speed. There is very little doubt in my mind that there is a creature or creatures of massive size beneath the depths of Okanagan Lake.
We optically enlarged the film, and on close examination, there was indeed a large object moving through the water, as shown by the white foam. Professor Willard Bascom comments on the conditions necessary for the development of a monster.
One of the difficult problems is this is in a fairly small lake, which is only 90 miles long and 2 or 3 miles wide, and it just doesn't seem likely that you could have developed any animal quite so large in the relatively short time available since that lake was frozen solid during the ice ages. It just seems very unlikely to me. I do believe that in the open ocean there's probably lots of very large animals that are so rarely seen by man, sea monsters if you will, animals of a certain kind which are much larger than any others like that have ever been seen. All animals have certain problems of getting oxygen and of feeding and of living through the winter time and of mating and raising young and all the other things. And all of those things still need to be described about this particular creature, whatever it may be. But there's no question there are very large animals in the sea which are only rarely seen. So anything might be a sea monster if it grew to a very unusual size.
The persistent question remains. What is it so many reliable witnesses say they've seen in the lake? Could so many people be wrong? Whether the creature is something known or unknown, it's difficult to ignore these pictures and the large number of sightings of a creature scientists cannot explain. What it is, we still don't know. Perhaps someday, a scientific expedition will tell us. In the meantime, the fold and film provides us with the most conclusive evidence that something very large lives in Lake Okanagan.